Hi Stampers, NetteP coming at you from NettePstamping.com in Warnersville, Pennsylvania. Um, Winter's here for sure. It's been snowing and it's been crazy, and the nice part about it is it gave me some time to sit and mess around with my last minute things. Yeah, we're wrapping up Christmas now. I think this will be the last Christmas card that I'll be showing you. And actually, what I have decided to do today is show you two things. One is a really pretty, elaborate Christmas card that's a special card. It's the kind of card that you would want to give to your mother, your sister. It's a special card. And it's a little more elaborate. It's a little time consuming, but I've made a couple for my very special friends and some relatives, and everybody has come back to me and said, "My gosh, how beautiful it is." So that's the first thing I'm going to show you. The second one I'm going to show you is a super, super simple, easy card that's going to take you about 5 minutes to put together. And that's for in case you forgot cards for somebody and you need to get something out real quick. So the other thing I just want to mention is I have some friends that are stampers that seem to be afraid to use their homemade cards for some reason. I just want to tell you that when I send cards to my friends, they always call me up and say, "Thank you so much for the card. It was so beautiful." They recognize the fact that I put time into making that card for them, because they're special, because they mean something to me. And I like that these cards mean something to them. And I have some people that cut the fronts off the cards and use them again, or use parts of the cards again. I have people that frame them and hang them up in rooms and then change them up as things come, more cards come to them. And I just appreciate that. And I do appreciate when people send me their homemade cards. I love to see them. Here's one that I got that I think is just so pretty. It is made with the curvy keepsakes and foil, copper foil and brass. Isn't that beautiful? So there's just a couple of them that I think are just stunning. And I just want to share them with you. So, but this one here, what I'm going to show you right now, this card, it's called an Origami Christmas card. And you can find these all over the web. This is not something I created. This is not something that I dreamed up. This is something that a lot of demonstrators have done. And rather than sending you off all over the web looking for it, I just thought I'd show you really quick how to make it. It's so pretty and it's so worth the time. So what I did to start out is I started with my typical base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I cut a smaller layer, cut it down by 1/4 here and 1/4 here. This is, let's see, this is garden green. This is old olive. And this is, oh geez, you should think that I would know these. Very vanilla. Off the top of my head. I ran this through the diamonds. It's Dainty Diamonds embossing folder, and I glued the 3 of them together, and it's all ready to go. Then I cut squares out of a designer series paper. Pick a paper that you like. By the way, I guess before I shove this out of the way, I should mention this is my website, www.nettepstamping.com. You're probably seeing me there now, although I do have a YouTube channel too, NetteP Stamping. But this is the host code for December and into January. It's not going to change until around the middle of January. So if you place an order for under $150, use that host code. If your order is over $150, you get the rewards. Now, if you use this host code and you place an order with me, chances are I am going to send you a little prize, because that's what this host code is for. It gets me the chance to get some embellishments and things like that for free. And so I like to pass them on to you. So I will send you a little thank you card, and it will probably have some embellishments in it. Okay, so back to our card. We're going to make a Christmas tree. Thus the name, Origami Christmas Tree. We're going to take 4 pieces of designer series paper. The first one is cut at 3 by 3. Yes, 3 by 3, okay. The second one is 2.5 by 2.5. The third one is 2 by 2. And the fourth one is 1.5 by 1.5. So it's 1.5 square, 2 inches square, 2.5, and 3. Got that? That's an easy one. Get your bone folder because you are going to need it for this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the biggest one just to show you they're all done the same. Fold it in a triangle, corner to corner. And burnish it down with your bone folder. Then fold that triangle in half to make another triangle. And burnish it. Then open the whole thing up and fold this in half this way. And you're just doing this to get the center point. Okay, so you just fold it in half. Then you take your pieces, open it back up. Now here's your half piece. Push them into each other so that the outside triangles go together and form another triangle. Did you get that? Do you want me to do that again? I'll try holding it a little closer to the paper. Okay, so you have your half here, the half line. You're going to push that in, and it's going to bring these triangles together. Okay? Then you're going to take it down, and you're going to bring the corners over like this to the middle. Okay, can you see that? You brought the corners over from here and here. And you're going to burnish that good so it stays down. That's all there is to that. Okay, so now you're going to take your next piece and you're going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to do it for you again. So after we're all done, we're going to do those 4 times. So you should probably catch on at that point. Okay, so you fold it in half to make a triangle. You fold your triangle in half to make a smaller triangle. Burnish everything so that your folds are good. Open it up. Fold it in half. Okay, open it back up again, bring that fold into the middle to give you your triangles. And then bring a triangle over here to the center, and bring a triangle over here to the center. This is the sticky part. There it is. And burnish that good. Next one, corner to corner. Fold the triangle in half. Burnish it all real good. Open it up. Fold it in half. Open that up and push those corners in. And bring your corners to the middle. I have fat fingers and I'm trying to do this and keep them out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I get that one off center a little bit, so I'm redoing it there. There. That's better. And one more. The biggest one's the easiest one. The little one is a little rough, especially when it gets to that last step. Okay, corner to corner, fold the triangle in half. Open the whole thing up and fold it in half again this way. Bring your edges together. Okay. And bring these out into the middle. Now, what you are going to do next, this is going to make it beautiful. You're going to take your biggest one, and each one is going to go inside the next smallest one until the smallest one is at the top. See how you got a tree now? Isn't that pretty? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to glue this. Oh, and I forgot to cut a pot, make a pot, but we're going to do that. That's an easy part. We're just going to take a scrap of soft suede. I have a scrap, so I'm going to take a scrap of it like espresso, because that I do have a scrap of. And I'm going to cut 1 inch by 1 inch of early espresso. And cut it kind of on an angle. Although that didn't work so well. I want it to get kind of a pot shape. There. So you're going to glue all your pieces on. Start at the top, glue them down piece by piece. Then you can either cut out something to put on the top for a star, or if you have some kind of star embellishments. I have some of these left over from last year, actually. Copper stars. And I'm going to cut one of those and stick it right on top. And there is your Origami Christmas tree card. And just to make sure you understand the whole thing, which I know you already do, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to actually glue it, put it all together for you. Okay, I am using a snail here just because I'm trying to get it done quickly so I can move on to the next project. You can use your Tombow green glue. That would probably hold it stronger. Now the pot, I've cut an inch square piece. Then I cut the angles there and there just to give it a pot shape. And then I tuck a lot of it up underneath that bottom layer just to kind of have a little bit of a peeking out here at the bottom. And I'm going to glue my star on the top. And that's it. Now what I also will do is put maybe a little message down here that says season's greetings, or up here, or I'll just leave it go. Honestly, I love the way this looks just like this, so I just might leave it go the way it is and then put a message inside saying Merry Christmas or season's greetings or whatever you want to say. So that's that one. And for this simple, easy card that I promised you, I'm going to show you that one. You're going to take a card base, only instead of cutting the whole thing, you are going to cut it at 6.5 and go in 4 1/4 and yeah, burnish it. Okay. And then you're going to take a piece 4.5 by 5.5, 5.5 by 4 1/4. See, it fits right in there. Now, I like to use this little trick sometimes because, you know, sometimes you get designer series paper that's so pretty on both sides. You hate to hide it. You glue it down to a base. So I'm using this Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper, and I have this one here, and I just think it's so pretty on both sides. So guess what? I'm going to glue this down right now on that piece that's folded over. That's 1 inch is folded over. And I'm going to just glue it right down on there, and that's the front of my card, and that's the inside. See, it just makes it, I think that just makes it so nice. Now, I'm going to tell you that it is a little bit less sturdy than a regular card would be because it's thinner than cardstock, but I don't really think that matters that much. I just think it's a very good way to do a real quick card. And I'm going to tie this ribbon in, tie it in a bow. And for the final touch on this, I have a stamp set called Wrapped in Christmas. Wrapped in Christmas just has a whole bunch of different sayings in it. I'm going to use this one. May your days be merry and bright. And what I'm going to do with that, it's round. Boy, I'm having trouble cutting this ribbon. There. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Just like that. I'm going to take the stamp. I'm using Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz paper. Okay, that's Mossy Meadow there. This is Pear Pizzazz. It's just a scrap. And I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow ink. Sorry about that. There. I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow ink. Wait, I'm just moving things around all over the place and I don't want to move. And I'm going to stamp it on this Pear Pizzazz paper. And then I'm going to take my 2-inch punch. And I'm going to stick that up on and dimensionals. And you know what else I'm going to do? Just to add a little pizzazz to this, I'm going to take my real red And I'm going to take a sponge, get a little real red on the sponge, and just sponge around the edges. We'll see how that works. It doesn't add a lot of color to it, but it just brings it out a little bit. And I'll stick that right there. And then I have another piece of Pear Pizzazz. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to glue that inside here. And I'm doing this just to add a little substance to this card because, like I said, having the paper on the front does make it a little less, if you know what I mean. And then I'm going to stamp the inside with the one that says, "Friends and family are the truest gifts of, Christmas blessings to you and yours." I'm going to stamp that in Bossy Meadow. Right there. Now, that whole card took me approximately 5 minutes. Tie a ribbon, stamp a little thing on the circle here, and stamp your inside. You have some ribbon embellishment, and it's just a pretty little card, and it's easy. Again, friends, do not be afraid to send these out to people. They love them. Believe me, everyone. I find that using my homemade cards to give to people, it gets a conversation started. So many people, when they get the card from me, they call me and they say, "Thank you so much for the card. It was so pretty. I just loved it." People don't do that when they get a card in the mail, just any old card. But when you make a card, they know that you have spent time on that, and they know that you've thought of them while you're making it. And I'll tell you the truth, when I'm making someone a birthday card or a special Christmas card or something like that, I do think of them while I'm making the card. And I do have them in my mind. It's not something that you can just put together in a matter of seconds. I mean, this one was an easy card, but it still took a little bit of time. And you could sit and you could do a whole stack of these if you wanted to. And I believe that is something that is easy to do around Christmas time. It saves you some time, and it gets a bunch of them made, and they're very pretty cards. But don't be afraid to use them because they're prettier than any card you can buy in a store. Sorry, but I think that's the truth. So, with that being said, I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I will absolutely put another video up before New Year's Eve, I hope. So, have a great, great, blessed Christmas. Thanks for watching.